All right. Good morning and good day to all audience and viewer from Masa University Facebook page and YouTube channel. Welcome to the webinar conducted by Faculty of Engineering, Built Environment and Information Technology of Masa University. My name is Nidnor Zuliana and I will be serving you as moderator today. Today, we'll be hearing a presentation from T.S. Nur Azliza Ahmad. T.S. Nur Azliza Ahmad is currently a lecturer at University Tun Hussein on Malaysia, UTHM, and former Deputy Dean in Faculty of Engineering and Built Environment at Masa University. She recognized by MBOT as a professional technologist and in electrical and electronics technology. She graduated from University Technology Petronas with Master of Science in Electrical and Electronic Engineering. Her field expertise is on antenna design, nanotechnology, electromagnetic applications, semiconductor reliability and failure analysis, and asset management of lightning. She started her career in industries as an engineer at Huawei Technologies in telecommunication industries and as sustaining engineer at Selamba Seismic in oil and gas industry for almost 5 years. She published several international and national papers in academic journals and conference proceedings. Okay, audience, before we start the webinar today, kindly scan the QR code that we display in our webinar today. Okay, without further ado, I would like to welcome T.S. Nur Azliza Ahmad, who will be speaking to us with the titles The Future of Communication Engineering in the Era of IR 4.0. All right, T.S. Nur Aziza, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. All right. So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good afternoon to everyone. So, for today is actually for the webinar. Okay. So, I would like to express thanks to our esteemed moderator, Madam Nick Zuliana, which is that facilitating for this webinar, and a special thanks also to the Faculty of Engineering, Built Environment and Information Technology from Masa University, which is that their expertise and efforts to have this webinar. So throughout this presentation, if you have any support or any things that if you have any things to ask, then you can put in chat, and then the moderator, which is Miss Nick Zuliana, will help us for during this session. Okay, so because we know that the moderator role is very essential, ensuring to make sure that our webinar will be getting smooth. All right, so we go for the next slide. Okay, so as mentioned uh, briefly by our moderator, so for today we have the future of communication engineering in the era of IR 4.0. So for this webinar, we can just go for the surface because we want to make sure that we know what is the IR 4.0 and also what is the related in the communication engineering. Okay, so if I don't want to go further first, so if you can see from the slide itself, they have a QR code, which is that you can scan for the attendance. This one is which is that we will contact if you have any things that you want to ask. And also for the student, that one is compulsory. Okay, and this one is and also for the networking. All right, so before we go for the agenda, I just want to have a very quick brief about the UTHM. So we know that UTHM is in the southern area, okay, University Tun Hussein on Malaysia. And this one is also under MTUN, which is that Malaysian Technical University Network. Is not only UTHM, we have UTEM, we have UMP, and also UNIMAP. Okay, so for the UTHM, we have two campus. First campus is at the Parit Raja, Batu Pahat, Johor, and also now I'm in the Pagoh, Muar, Johor. Okay, so we start with our agenda for the future of communication engineering in the era of IR 4.0. Okay, so you can see for the agenda, they have a few topics. Actually, for the IR 4.0, which is that related in communication, they have a few things that talk about this, because everything about digitalization, about the everything must be fast. So for the agenda for today, we go for introduction, which is what is the IR 4.0. Okay, and then what is the related with the communication engineering for those the student, okay, which is go for the communication engineering. They already learn what is the communication engineering. Now we want to relate into the IR 4.0, because this one in the industry demand. Now, if we go for the next is, if we next it will be impact of a IR 4.0 on the communication, and then after impact, for sure there will be have challenges. Okay, the challenges and the challenges to make it, how to make it, is it we want to mitigate, or if we want, or we want to adapt the new era. And not one of least is the future of the communication. We want to see what is the future, and then the conclusion for this webinar. All right, if you want to go for the IR 4.0, you can see we open our eyes, which is what is the current trends, okay, trends of the future, because this one is the source of the World Economic Forum 2015. They have they have some of the related um, references, but this one, why I took this one, because I want to relate into the communication. If you can see the trends of the future, 2025 and beyond, wherever that are highlighted in this, we can see everything we state about the internet, internet access, smartphone, and then we need to have the space for the cloud. Then everything, even the home appliances also need to be connected in the internet. All right, so this one we can see that if we want to go for the technology for the new era, they need to make sure that we need to have very good in our communication. Okay, communication is actually we can base from, for the first is analog. After we go for analog, we come up with the digital. So if you go for the digital, we can see that in the during the pandemic, okay, during the pandemic, we just give a very good example. Before this, during the pandemic, we doesn't know how to use the Zoom, Google Meet, all right. But if now the technology is coming, so we need to adapt. So the adapt whatever that the trend, so we need to adapt. So that is the things we need to make sure the communication must be fast. Everything must be fast, even though that for the energy storage also we need to the IR 4.0. So this one we can have a lot of discussion about this. But this one for the webinar, we just focus on the communication, what is the related with the IR 4.0. Okay, so this is very brief how we want to relate for the communication with the IR 4.0. So for sure that they will be see what is the IR 4.0. Okay, so they have a few things that we need to see, that the revolution. Okay, some of the sources they have state about the which year. For example, first revolution, which year, second, third revolution, and fourth. But for for the academia and also for the researcher, even though the engineer, the main thing is we want to see what is the trend and what is the changes for each of the revolution. So for, if you can see, for the first revolution is actually is about the first industrial revolution begins, which is from the manufacturing, introduction of the steam and water power. Okay, because this one that is the first, all right, okay, around 1980. Okay, that, but they have a few resources also. They have below before that 1980 or so. So then we go for the second revolution, okay, which is that the mass production assembly using the electrical power. Then they already, the current trend is coming. Okay, they go for the third revolution, which is that automated production using the electronics. Okay, we can see that during my working experience, I can see that they have a more to automated production. Okay, everything's they have automated that we can see, but they have only few that they are using the robotics. Okay, but now once we go for the um, in the industry right now, they already autonomous decision. Okay, it's not only we key in, we just have the coding everything, then they already we can have the what is our desired output. So that is the fourth revolution, which is industrial revolution 4.0, which is that they will be making a cyber physical system using machine learning through cloud technology. So we can see the cloud technology also, they will be related into the communication. Okay, if the industrial revolution, for sure they will have a few pillars. Okay, so they have a few sources, so they have 9 pillars, 11 pillars, but that one is we can see for the fundamental first. If we go for the fundamentals, they have 9 pillars. So for the 9 pillars, okay, you can see from the slide itself. Okay, they can have augmented reality, okay, system integration, cloud computing, big data, IoT, 3D printing, cyber security, autonomous robotic, and simulation. So for this following 9 advancement, we can see the 9 advancement for the 9 pillars for the Industrial Revolution 4.0 is actually the concept of using, especially in manufacturing. Okay, because industry revolution. So this integrating them where is a very individual at present and implementing of the lacking concept of the empower factory to be intelligent. So the word intelligent is actually is come out that we want to everything will be autonomous, computerized. So that is the things that there already few changes from the industry 4.0. So they will be described the future of the state of the industry and characterized for the digitalization. Okay, so this one we can see that every step that for the fourth revolution, which is industrial revolution, everything is autonomous. So they will be interconnected. Okay, interconnected world of the industrial revolution. So this one will be easy nowadays. Also, we can see everything. IoT. Okay, for example, IoT. So now home appliances. Okay, for example, now is a very hot weather, so we need to have cool. So we need to have the air conditioning. So that one we can control ourselves. Okay, for example, if we forgot to um, switch on or switch off, okay, we can see itself from our phone. So this is the changes. Before this, we need to going back. If we are at the office, we need to going back. So this is the changes that we need to follow. We can see that one. We need to adapt with the new trend technology. Okay, so for these 9 pillars or 9 advancements of the Industrial Revolution 4.0, they have future state of the industry characterized through a digital for the economic production. So wherever that one we want to have the output, so the yield, all right, how many, then also the time. So that is the most critical that we need to invest. Okay, so this is machines also can connect into the others. Okay, so now if you can see from the social media itself, they have a lot of the AI. Okay, so now so that is the things we need to go to adapt with the new era, and then how we want to overcome if they have some pro and cons for the new current technology. Okay, let me go for the next slide. So, so this one is for the technologies with presence in Malaysia. Okay, that one is the present year. Okay, so if that one is the sources from the 2021, we can see for the first things that I just mentioned just now is the artificial intelligence. Now, if you want to create, okay, the face, everything, you just state it. You can get it. All right. So that is the things that we need to fast. So fast, same like with our technology. Okay, same goes to Internet of Thing. Okay, Internet of Thing also for our current, okay, for our present year. They have IoT, advanced material. So if we go for the focus into the communication, okay, or we can go for the electrical, they have artificial, Internet of Thing. Also we can see they have a battery and energy storage. Okay, that one we can go for the renewable energy. Right, so for the future, also they have a beyond for 2020, they need to have another improvement, another enhancement to make sure that we can improvise. So all the researcher from industry, even though for the academia, to make sure that what is the improvement, okay, improvement for the present year, this whatever that the element that stated there, what is the we can improve that. For example, now we have 3D printing. So for the beyond of the 2020, we expected to have 4D or 5D printing. Okay, so this is one of types of the example for the present in Malaysia. So we just focus for the in Malaysia, for example. Okay, so this one is for the industry 4.0, for the solution is available to manufacturing today wide and varied. So they have a lot. Okay, so it will be depends on what kinds of the application, and then what kinds of your limitation to make sure that you will follow the new technology. Okay, so then once we already know about the what is the IR 4.0, okay, Industrial Revolution 4.0, now we go for the communication engineering that can relate it into the IR 4.0. Okay, if you can see from the slide itself, okay, they have sources from 2021. Okay, they stated about the first generation. All right, so same goes to for industrial revolution, but for the communication, okay, they have a first generation 2G, 3G, 4G. Now is 5G, and then for the current, so for all a lot of researchers right now are doing for 6G. So if you can see the icon over there, they have a just go walking, and then this one you can have a speed and then end up with very just a rocket is very fast. Why we need to have a very fast for the data transfer, especially, and also the big data or for the cloud, because we want to make sure that the 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 next technology will be adapt with this communication, because we want to make it fast. Everything must be fast. Okay, for example, we want to send. We can just imagine from the previous our telephone. Okay, our is very it just we still have two-way communication, but there will be have some delay. But now it's not only just talking. Before this, we can't see the video. Now they have a you can see the video, you can see the image, you can send the video, a lot of application that you can see, because they have a very fast for the data transfer, okay, for the data communication, and then also the cloud is very big. Okay, so that is they can cater. If you have a very fast for the data transfer, but for your cloud is not enough, it's very difficult. It means that you can just only send the information, the data. It's not only for the image or video. There will be a very huge capacity of storage. So that's why we need to make sure that this one is the communication. For the communication also, they have their revolution. So if I can say that the communication engineering plays a crucial role for the IR 4.0 by enabling the seamless of the transfer data between the physical to the digital system. All right, so that's why for all the communication student, engineering student, for the lecturers, for all the academia, for the researchers, and for the industry in the communication. So you are playing in the crucial place, because we need to make sure that we can cater okay, for the IR 4.0. So because this one will be involved of the developments of the communication network and then protocol, the devices, and because this one will be including the IoT, artificial intelligence, and also the cloud computing that I just said just now. So this is, we can see the some of the changes. So a very quick one, you can see the speed. All right, the speed is very easy to understand for the revolution for the communication engineering. Okay, so this we can go for the next. All right, so this one for the communication engineering in industrial revolution also. This is the future with 5G. Okay, so actually we already have the 5G, but we can see that um, we can is some few location. Okay, if you can go for the agriculture also, they need to have the 5G. The 5G is actually the fast, the data will be fast and the cloud. Okay, so the data storage for the smart home, the smart city, manufacturing, everything's for the whole city. We can see for the smart, we can call also for the smart city, we need a very fast, which is that for the 5G. So for the 5G is actually is to make sure that we want to make it getting real, okay, but visually. Okay, so for example, now actually I'm giving the talk, okay, so to this one also by visual, right? But we can before this we need to have if you want to have sharing session, we have to have a face to face. But nowadays, if you want to grab any knowledge, it's very easy. All right, so this is for the, it's getting real, but this one will be virtually. Okay, that one is for the technology. And also is a 5G with the internet. Okay, they have a lots of the tactile of the uh, process of the 5G, and then improving of the healthcare, the driving on 5G paths also. That one is for the few country, some few country is already going into that. But for us, we still need to have a under researcher for that one is. But for 5G factory also, that one is everything is must be fast. Okay, so this is for the actually is 5G is set to become invisible. Okay, will be easy for the audience. Okay, to everyone to understand what is the 5G. Okay, that one is very that related into the communication. So once we can see a very huge of the trends of the communication engineering and also the IR 4.0, for sure there will be have the impact. All right, impact IR 4.0 on the communication engineering. If you can see itself from the slide, they have a pre-industry 4.0. Okay, if pre for the 4.0, we can see that one, the benefit, which is that, yeah, they have a lower cost, okay, efficient, yeah, because that one is very lower cost. Okay, but now everything we need to have a very fast, and then we need to have an output, we have a yield. It doesn't matter what kinds of the industry, but everything must be output, then everything must be have a benefit. So in now, if they have a production with industry 4.0, which is that they have if you have a very big one, they have a lower cost for the bulk materials. Okay, so this one, if they have a lot of supplier, which is can negotiate a better shipping rates, you can just very before just very another example, which is that before this, if you want to go the grocery, we need to go to the mall, everything we need to pay. But now, before this, we doesn't have like a Shopee, Lazada. Now they have a TikTok, so everything is just use your finger, everything is have that. If they have a lot of like a provider for that for shipping, so for sure they have a, the cost will be less, because they are compete to each other to give a very good for the consumer. So that's why if the technology, the everyone involved, so that one will be good. Okay, it's a very benefit for everyone. Okay, so that is a few example. Okay, for a few example for the benefit of scale lah. So this one you can see they have a few of the changes for impact. Okay, uh, even of the impact for sure they have also for the benefit. So for the benefit for this one, which is that faster. Okay, faster. So we have the communication will be have a faster and better security and operational efficiency. So that one is the better security for sure. For the communication, we need to have the play around with the communication network, the protocol, okay, the IP protocol. So for that details, we can secure. Okay, okay, that is some of the pro lah. For the pro and cons. Also, cons for also they have a few, but we can think about the positive way to make sure we need to adapt. Okay, the adapt or for the current technology and also the save time and or the reduced cost. The reduced cost is actually we can see for the image itself for the retain benefit of scale, which is that the lower cost will be having if we have in the bulk material. So that is one of the example. Okay, so even for the better security, okay, we can see they have a lot of the cyber attacks, all right, for that one. But that one, we can see through of the encryption, okay, the encryption and the another security measurement. Okay, that one, they have a very detailed, okay, for that one, how we want to um, elevate into the better security for some of the for example if the factory they have already involved, okay, involved in the IR 4.0. Okay, so this is the some of the challenges. Okay, this before this is impact. Okay, then also they have a benefit. Okay, now we go for the challenges. So challenges is come because we want to create a very fast, and then for each of the technology for sure they have some of the limitation. Okay, so this is for the first we can see that the establish of a high speed wire or wireless communication network. Okay, such as of the Ethernet or Wi-Fi, because that one we can see for the data compression methods to optimize the bandwidth utilization. So you can see if they have you can see the bandwidth. Yeah, the bandwidth is the for the higher frequency. Okay, with the minus of the lower frequency, because we want to make sure that wherever that the bandwidth will be just only for the significant data volume that produced into the smart device. For example, if we want to have the internet, everything, we want to make sure we can see all the data we are using. So that's why we can get there very fast. Then the second one is the using edge computing and fog computing strategies, okay, to bring the real-time processing to the network edge and the near to the data source. Okay, so this is another of the challenges. They have a few topologies, but if you use the ring topologies lines, it will enable the reliable communication. Okay, because we can see the algorithm. Okay, because each of the topology they have a different algorithm. So like I just said just now, they have IP protocol. For sure, we need to have the using the firewall, because firewall to make sure that we can for the better security. Okay, to make sure that we can don't have the cyber attacks. Okay, that firewalls for VPN, which is the virtual private network encryption that I just said just now, and also the last one will be adopting the standardized communication interface and protocol. So now we can see that they are using the adopting. So is it we need to we still need to follow because the technology is very fast. Okay, like our smartphone. Okay, before this is very big smartphone. Now it's very thin, but we can do anything. Before this, we don't have camera in our phone. Now they become a smartphone. Okay, now smartphone, smart city, everything smart agriculture. Now everything using a smart, which is that they are related into the IR 4.0, and also they are make sure that they have related in the communication engineering to make it fast. Okay, then a very big for the cloud computing. Okay, and then this is one of the example of the future of the communication. So we can see here is the smart factory. Okay, for the smart factory itself, okay, they have a few of the elements needed. Okay, which is first is the wireless sensor network. Okay, wireless sensor network will be easy for, it will be depends on the what kinds of the appliances, what kinds of the um, manufacturing, or what kinds of the factory that they want to make sure that they will get off the output. They have machine learning, preactive maintenance. So for each of this, you can see they have the icon. So for the icon, this one, they will be related into the uh, few few elements of the IR 4.0. Okay, for example, we can see for the drones and autonomous system, for sure they need to have a big data. They have augmented reality. They have a cloud computing. They have a cloud computing. They have a IoT. All right. So and also augmented reality. So they have few of things of the elements to make sure for the key performance of the indicator. And this one because we want to reduce the unplanned downtime, okay, for the batteries profile, the lower maintenance cost, extension of the asset life, and also the improve the asset utilization. For sure that we want to have the increased production output. That is the main KPI. So for this main KPI, we need to have few elements to make sure that we can do as fast as we want, then whatever that our desired output. Okay, so this is some of the example. Okay, that for the smart factory. If we go for this smart agriculture, also they have smart city, smart hospital also they have. So we are in Malaysia also. We actually few places, few location already have that things. Okay, so for especially for student, you will learn a lot. Okay, you will learn a lot if you go itself to the industry and then you learn during the visit. Okay, so for the conclusion, okay, so we already have discussed a few key trend for the shaping of the field of the communication engineering in the era of IR 4.0. So if you can see, if IR 4.0, they have a few. Okay, they have a. You can see what is the revolution, first revolution until to the fourth revolution, and then the evolution of the 4G to 5G and beyond, which is right now for the researcher already going into the 6G, they emphasize to the key features and benefit for 5G network, because that one we want to make sure that the IR 4.0 will be into that we need to adapt the current trend. Okay, we want to make it fast, and then we need to have a very big cloud. Okay, and for sure for the better security. And for the last, for sure, the stakeholder is not only for the industry itself, so academia, the researcher, engineers, especially for the communication engineers, can drive the innovation and contribute the progress of the communication system in the era of IR 4.0. Okay, so I think that's all for today.
Okay. Thank you, T.S. Nur Aziza, for the clear explanation. It's very well explained here. Okay, we have come to the end part of the presentations. Thank you to T.S. Nur Aziza for addressing these interesting topics for the sharing sessions. Hopefully, this presentation will be beneficial for everyone. On behalf of Masa University, we would like to thank you for join us today. Thank you for your time and cooperations. Goodbye.
Thank you.